Hello guys, good morning. So I guess we shall now start our discussion. Okay. So last time, our discussion is all about circular function. At kung yung given sa atin is in the point na nandun sa loob ng circular function. So for this time, we'll be dealing about reference angles. Okay. So bakit ba natin kailangan ng reference angle? For example, we are given angle na mataas yung value. For example, we are given 1,040. We are given 570. So if that is the case, medyo mahihirapan tayo na isolve siya. Pero kung may calculator tayo, sobrang bilis lang naman isolve yung mga values ng angles na yon. So, pag sinabi nating reference angle, the reference angle for any angle in standard position is the positive acute angle between the terminal side and the x-axis. So again, the reference angle for any angle in standard position is the positive acute angle between the terminal side and the x-axis. So that is the reference angle. So reference angle of a given angle is always between 0 degrees and 90 degrees. So lagi nating tatandaan na when we have reference angle, it should not be more than 90 degrees because the angle should be between 0 and 90. So let's try to answer. Okay. So name the reference angle for each of the following. So for letter A, so sabi dito name daw the reference angle for each of the following angles. For letter A, we are given 30 degrees. So do you think meron pang reference angle yung 30 degrees natin?
Wala na po.
Okay, so wala na because 30 degrees is already a reference angle. So how about for 135 degrees? So in case that we are given 135 degrees, all we have to do first is to graph it. So graph muna natin yung i-graph muna natin yung 135 degrees. So since that is positive, therefore paangat dapat yung angle natin. So kung paangat siya, this is 90. So ilan pa yung kailangan ni 90 para maging 135 degrees?
45.
45. So this is now our angle, which is 135 degrees. So this is our 45 degree angle. Okay. Is this the reference angle? Is this the reference angle? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why? Is this the reference angle? Again, is this the reference angle of 135 degrees?
Apa.
Why, Mr. Pangilinan, why is this angle the reference angle of 135 degrees?
Yung value po niya is between...
Yes, the value is
0
between 0 and 90. It satisfies that condition. Okay. But then when we say reference angle, it should be in standard position with respect to what axis? X or Y axis? Anong sabi natin kanina dun sa definition natin ng reference angle? Balikan natin. So when we say reference angle, it is for any angle in standard position, it's the positive acute angle between the terminal side and the x-axis. Again, it should be between the terminal side and the x-axis. So yung pinakita ko ba sa inyo na 45 degrees is between the terminal side and the x-axis? Yung 45 degrees ba na to between terminal side and the x-axis? This is the terminal side of 135 degrees. But is the 45 degree angle here between the terminal side and the x-axis? Yes or no?
No po.
No, because this is between the terminal side and the y-axis. Therefore, we will be choosing this one. And this is also 45 degrees. Hindi natin pwedeng piliin to, even though this is also 45 degrees, this is not the reference angle for this one because it is sandwiched between the terminal side and the y-axis. The reference angles should always be between the terminal side and the x-axis. Okay? So, magkakaroon kasi tayo ng problema if in case na isa-solve natin kung ito lang yung gagamitin natin. But then, since this is 45 degrees, same lang naman yung makukuha nating value. But then, for illustration, kung i-graph mo kasi siya, mali yung magiging sagot mo for the plotting part. Kasi nga, hindi naman ito yung reference angle. But then, pag tinype mo sa calculator mo yan, cosine 45, sine 45, tangent 45. So, magiging magkakamukha lang din yung answers mo dyan since 45, 45, kahit ano yung 45 na gamitin mo dyan, same lang din naman siya. Okay? So, next tayo. So, anong sabi dun sa next na given? For the next given, ang sabi sa atin is 240 degrees. Okay. How about for 240 degrees? 240, 330. Okay, next is 330. Okay, for 240 degrees, again, let us first graph. Okay, since we all know that this is 90, this is 180, and this is positive, so pataas yung ikot niya. Okay? At kapag nagpunta na tayo dito is 90, 180, magiging 270 na tayo dito. So, ibig sabihin, sobra na. Sobra na siya in case that umikot pa tayo ng isa. So, since this is 240, again, this is 240. So, ilan pa yung kailangan ni 180 para maging 240? Ilan pa yung kailangan ni 240 para ilan pa yung kailangan ni 180 para maging 240? So that we could graph the angle.
60 po.
Ilan po? 60.
60.
So, magdagdag tayo ng 60. This is now 240 degrees. But then, ano po ngayon yung value nito? What is now the value of the reference angle? The value of the reference angle now is 60 degrees. Okay. So, kung i-check mo ngayon sa calculator mo, pag sinabi mong sine 240 degrees, that is also equal to sine 60 degrees. Are we clear? Ang mangyayari lang po dito is magbabago yung signs natin. Since mamaya, i-discuss ko sa inyo yung table of values natin kapag meron tayong signs. Ano yung mga positive sa quadrant 1, ano yung positive sa quadrant 2, ano yung positive sa quadrant 3, ano yung positive sa quadrant 4. So pag tinype mo sa calculator mo yan, so for your scientific calculator, yung sine 240 degrees will just be the same with sine 60. But then, they will be different in signs. Yung isa pwedeng maging positive, isa pwedeng maging negative. Kaya dapat alam natin kung ano ngayon mamaya yung magiging signs ng mga to. So, i-discuss natin mamaya yun. But then, ganun lang yung ibig sabihin ng reference angle. Kasi hindi natin agad masosolve yung sine 240 degrees. We need to reduce this into our special angles. Kasi etong 60, etong 45, they are all special angles. If hindi siya magpo-fall as special angle, therefore, mano-mano siyang isosolve. At masosolve naman nga siya using our scientific calculators. So let's move on with 330 degrees. Okay. So since this is now 330 degrees, so we all know that this is positive. Angat 180, angat 270. So, ilan yung kailangan ni 270 para maging 330? Ilan po yung kailangan ni 270 para maging 330?
50 po.
60.
Ay.
50?
60.
It should be 60. Tama po ba? 60. Okay, angat tayong 60 ngayon. Okay. This is now 60 degrees. Tama po ba na 60 degrees to?
Opo.
Okay. So since this is 60 degrees, is the reference angle equal to 60 degrees?
Hindi po.
Hindi. So ilan dapat yung reference angle natin? Yung natitira dapat dito. Since this is between the x-axis and the terminal side. At ilan dapat yung natitira na yon? That is
30.
That is 30 degrees. Therefore, the reference angle of 330 is 30 degrees. So, i-discuss ko na sa inyo yung table of sines para mamaya ay hindi na kayo malito. Okay. So, para magets nyo din na at ganun pala, kapag pala 330 degrees, equal lang siya sa 30 degrees. But then, mababago lang yung signs. Okay. So, saan po ba? Nakikita po ba? This is the table of sines na meron po tayo. Okay, isusulat ko na lang. So, for the table of sines, it should be all positive for quadrant 1. For quadrant 2, positive si sine and cosecant. For quadrant 3, ang positive po natin is si tan and cotangent. For quadrant 4, ang positive lang po natin is si cosine and si secant. Okay. So, ang palatandaan ko po dito is ax. So, ACTS. ACTS. All positive, cosine, secant, positive. Nakikita po ba? Hindi pala. So, this should be ACTS. Quadrant 1, all positive. Quadrant 4, cosine, secant positive. Quadrant 3, tangent, cotangent positive. Quadrant 2, sine, cosecant positive. Okay. So, ang kapartner po kasi palagi ni sine is si cosecant kasi reciprocal identity po sila. So, sine is equal to 1 over cosecant. Cosecant is equal to 1 over sine, which I will discuss it to you later. So, ang tawag natin doon is trigonometric function. So, tingnan po natin. This is sine, cosecant, tangent, cotangent, cosine, secant. And sa first quadrant, wala po tayong magiging problema kapag tumama. Kapag tumama po yung reference angle natin sa first quadrant, therefore, wala tayong magiging problema because all of the answers for the first quadrant will always be positive. Okay, so let's try. So balikan po natin itong nauna. Okay, so sabi dito sa nauna, this is 135 degrees. Yung pinakauna kasi natin example is just 30 degrees. Okay, wala po tayong magiging problema sa 30 degrees. If you have scientific calculator sa mga bahay nyo, please pakihawakan po and make sure that these are all in degrees. So kailangan po yung scientific calculator nyo is in degrees. Since this is 135, paki-check nga po sine 135. Okay? Ano po yung lumabas na sine 135 degrees sa mga calculator nyo? It should not be in decimal, this should be in fraction. Pwedeng may square root, pwedeng radical, but it should be in fraction if that is the case. But then, what is the answer po for sine 135 degrees?
Square root of 2 over 2.
Okay, that is square root of 2 over 2. Ito po yung exact answer. We call this as exact answer for sine 135. Okay, ano po yung nakuha nating reference angle ni 135 kanina? What is the reference angle of 135 degrees? Ang nakuha po natin is
45.
45. Okay. Punta tayo ngayon. Di po ba kanina, nasabi natin ni sa 135 degrees ay magfo-fall sa ang quadrant? Sa ang quadrant po nag-fall si 135 degrees? Hello po. Sa ang quadrant nag-fall si 135 degrees? Ito graph natin kanina. Quadrant?
2.
2. Okay. Tingnan natin ngayon. Ano po yung kinuha natin dito na function? Ano po yung kinuha natin dito na function? Ano po ito? This is?
Sine.
Sine. Si sine po ba positive kay second quadrant? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So, pakikuha po. Sine 45 degrees. What is sine 45 degrees? Sa calculator nyo po, scientific calculator, what is sine 45 degrees? That should be square root of 2 over 2. Paki-check nga po kung tama. Is sine 45 degrees equal to square root of 2 over 2?
Opo.
Opo.
Yes or no?
Opo.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Ito lang guys ang tatandaan nyo. If gumagamit tayo ng reference angle, huwag mong kakalimutan na tumingin sa table of sines. Kasi once na tinype mo sa calculator mo yung reference angle, it will not anymore include the sine because it is not yet the exact value. So para makuha mo yung exact value, titingin ka muna dun sa table of sines na binigay ko sa inyo para i-indicate mo yung sign niya. Kasi pag reference angle, kulang pa siya ng positive or negative. Okay, so let's have another example. This is 240 degrees. Tama po? Okay, paki-type nga po, sine 240 degrees. Okay, what is the answer for sine 240 degrees? That is
Negative square root of 3 over 2.
negative square root of 3 over
2.
Okay, that is negative square root of 3 over 2. What is the reference angle of 240 degrees na na-solve natin kanina? What is the reference angle? Sige, ano po yung reference angle? Ng 240? 60. Lagay po natin dito, sine 60 degrees. Paki-type po sa calculator nyo, what is sine 60 degrees?
Square root of 3 over 2.
Square root of 3 over 2. But then, the sign is not yet indicated. Tama? Tingnan natin, saan nag-fall si sine, si 240 degrees? Saan po nag-fall si 240 degrees?
Quadrant.
What quadrant? Quadrant
3.
3. Look at the table of signs. Sino lang po yung positive kay quadrant 3?
Tangent.
Tangent and cotangent. Kung sa anim po na trigonometric functions natin, kapag hindi po siya kabilang dito, therefore, alam na natin agad na negative siya. At dapat ilalagay natin kapag sine 60, that should be negative. Kasi magfo-fall siya sa quadrant 3. Are we clear? Maliwanag po?
Opo.
Okay. Balik tayo ngayon dito sa 330 degrees. Gusto ko kuhanin nyo si sine 330 degrees. Okay. What is the answer for sine 330 degrees?
Negative 1/2.
Negative 1/2. Okay? So, check po natin. Saan po nag-fall si 330 degrees? Which quadrant?
4 po.
Quadrant 4. Positive po ba si sine sa quadrant 4? Positive po ba yung si sine sa quadrant 4?
Hindi po.
Yes or no?
No.
Hindi.
Negative.
Okay.
No.
Since this is 330 degrees, what is the reference angle na kinuha natin kapag 330? Yung nandun po sa pagitan ni terminal side at ni x-axis. Ano po ginamit nating reference angle? That should be sine
30 po.
30. Okay. At alam natin na dapat si sine 30 should be positive or negative? It should be?
Positive.
It should be negative. Since it falls sa quadrant 4. Tama po ba?
Apa.
Okay. And what is sine 30 sa calculator nyo?
1/2 po.
1/2. Therefore, the answer is really negative 1/2. Maliwanag po ba yung reference angles natin?
Opo.
Maliwanag po dito kung anong reference angle natin. So, in-illustrate ko lang sa inyo, hindi ko pa kasi dapat i-discuss yung sine, cosine, and tangent. Since dapat ma-realize nyo na yung reference angle natin ay magiging magkamukha lang yung sagot. Kung mapapansin nyo kasi dito kanina, di ba sabi nyo 60 degrees dito? Pag po kinuha natin si 60 degrees, kinuha mo yung sine 60 degrees, maiiba na po yung sagot niya kapag kinuha mo si sine 330 degrees. Yun po yung sinasabi ko sa inyong reference angle na hindi natin pwedeng kuhanin yung with respect to the y-axis. Actually, napag-aralan nyo na sa physics to, yung SOHCAHTOA. With respect to y, with respect to x, na hindi tayo kumukuha basta-basta ng angle. Okay? So, let's now try to move on. Mag-move on na tayo. Okay? So, after po ng reference angle natin, so sana maliwanag na po yung reference angle. So, after a reference angle, so ito yung generalization natin. We can generalize the results of example, yung mga example na yon through this illustration. So, ito po illustration natin. Kapag quadrant 1, theta minus 360. Kapag quadrant 2, 180 minus theta. Kapag quadrant 3, theta minus 180. Kapag quadrant 4, 360 minus theta. Okay? So, mamaya sa special angles, so titingnan natin kung gumagana tong formula na to. Okay. So, let's now move on with the special angles. So, i-discuss ko ano ba yung mga values ng mga special angles na yan. Okay. Before, guys, ano yung mga sabi ko sa inyong mga special angles natin? Guys, ano yung mga sinabi ko sa inyong values ng special angles natin? Ano yung mga
30,
example?
60, 90.
30, 60, 90. This is special triangle. Do we call this special triangle, di ba? The 30, 60, 90. Okay, but the special angles are 30, 45, 60. So, isama na din natin ngayon si 90. Okay, these are special angles. Okay, so based on the special angles, we could finally formulate special triangles. Okay? So, dito natin ngayon masasolve yung mga values nung kinuha nating reference angle kanina. Okay. So, mag-start tayo with 45. Okay. So, let's start with the 45, 45, 90 na special triangle. Okay. This is our right triangle, special right triangle. This is 90. If this is 45 degrees, what is the measure of this angle? If this is 45 degrees, what is the measure of that angle?
45.
45.
Also 45. Very good. This is also 40. Okay. What if the length of this one is x? What is the length of this one? This is the angle. This is the side opposite angle 45 degrees. This is x. What about this side? What is the length of this side? If the length of this side is x, what is the length of this side? That side is also x. Very good. That is also x. If this is x, this is also x, bakit nakipag-break ka sa x mo? Hindi, joke lang. Ano ngayon yung measure nung hypotenuse natin? What is now the measure of the hypotenuse? Sige nga. What is the measure of the hypotenuse? If this is x, this is also x. What is the measure of the hypotenuse? That is, this is x, this is x. Ano daw yung measure na, ano daw yung length ng hypotenuse niya? Remember, kapag ganito, titingnan mo palagi yung angle. If that is the angle, that is angle 45. This is, ito dapat yung ano niya, ito dapat yung side niya. Kasi kung gaano kalaki yung side, tatandaan nyo guys, kung gaano kalaki yung side, nakadepende po palagi yung laki ng side dun sa laki ng angle. Habang lumalaki ng lumalaki yung angle, syempre, palaki din ng palaki yung side. If that is your angle, o ito lang yung side niya, o yan lang siya. E paano kung lumaki angle? Di ba lalaki din yung side? Lumaki pa ng lumaki, lalaki yung side. Okay. So, if in case hindi mo malaman kung ano yung hypotenuse, ano po ba yung ginagamit nating paraan para makuha yung hypotenuse ng isang triangle? Ano po yung ginagamit natin na Pythagorean theorem? And what is the formula for Pythagorean theorem? Babalik na naman po tayo. Ilang beses na po tayo nagpi-Pythagorean theorem. Simula sa circle, nagpi-Pythagorean theorem na tayo. Simula sa distance formula, nagpi-Pythagorean theorem na tayo. What is the formula for Pythagorean theorem? That is
C squared equals A squared plus B squared.
Very good. That is C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. If this is A, and this is B, therefore, what can we say about C squared? C squared becomes, pakidikta nga po sa akin, C squared becomes,
X
Ooh.
squared.
yes, X squared plus
X squared din.
plus X squared. And what is X squared plus X squared? What is X squared plus X squared? That is
Squared.
2x
2x squared. Get the square root, cancel the square root for C squared, therefore it becomes C. Square root of 2x squared, ilabas natin si x squared, therefore that becomes x, and this becomes square root of 2. Therefore, ang side po pala na to is x, square root of 2. Maliwanag po. Maliwanag na po ba? Okay. So, isa-isahin po natin ngayon si 45 degrees. Gusto ko kasi tumatak sa mga isip nyo itong special angles kasi gagamitin nyo ito hanggang pagdating nyo ng college. Okay, but before that, balikan muna natin si SOHCAHTOA. Naalala pa po ba si SOHCAHTOA? Yes or no? Naalala pa po ba si SOHCAHTOA?
Yes.
Hindi na?
Medyo.
Hindi na naalala?
Medyo lang po.
Medyo. Okay. Parang ang nangyari kasi sa curriculum nyo is tinanggal yung mga parang nag-spiral curriculum kayo, no? Before, nung sa special science curriculum, sa section natin dati, etong SOHCAHTOA, ilang beses itong inuulit sa mga subjects namin. Nung high school kami, dalawa yung physics namin, dalawa yung chemistry, ano pa ba? Dalawang math per year. Ganun yung nangyayari eh. So, etong SOHCAHTOA na to, paulit-ulit lang to. Kasi dinidiscuss na siya sa geometry, dinidiscuss na siya sa physics. So, sabay siyang dinidiscuss dun sa dalawa na yon. So, eto, mahilig dito si Ma'am Kaimo before. Kasi, puro ganyan yung pinapa-solve niya. Pag mga angle-angle, so kailangan ng SOHCAHTOA. So, when we say so, that is sine theta. Okay. Sine theta is equal to what is so? That is opposite over hypotenuse. Tatandaan po natin yan, ha? Once we say sine theta, that is opposite over hypotenuse. When we say cosine theta, that is adjacent over hypotenuse. And when we say tangent theta, that is TOA, that is opposite over adjacent. Okay, maliwanag po ba? Since this is a special angle, special 45, 45, 90 triangle, ang gagamitin lang po natin dito is 45 degrees. Okay? So, mag-start po tayo with sine 45 degrees. And what is the value of sine 45 degrees? Actually, kanina, sinolve nyo na siya sa calculator nyo. But then, what if nakalimutan mo yung calculator mo na dalhin? Ito ngayon yung gagamitin mo. Mano-mano. Okay. Sine 45 degrees. So when we say sine 45 degrees, look at the reference angle. Asaan po yung 45 degrees? Pwede po ba ito yung gamitin ko? Yes or no? Yes or no? 45 degrees po ba ito? Pwede ko po bang ito yung gamitin ko?
Yes.
Wala, sumasagot. Ito po kaya, pwede kong gamitin? 45 degrees din po ba to?
Apa.
Okay. So, either of the two, pwede ko pong gamitin. Check po natin kung magiging magkamukha. Sine 45 degrees. Pag sinabi nating sine, opposite over hypotenuse. This is 45 degrees. What is the opposite side of 45 degrees? Tingin ka doon. Ito po yung opposite niya. Opposite is x over, what is the hypotenuse? X square root of 2. That is now sine 45 degrees. Okay, simplify. Cancel x, cancel x. Therefore, sine 45 degrees is equal to 1 over square root of 2. And it is not acceptable. Since this is irrational, so rationalize natin. Multiply that with square root of 2 over square root of 2. And that becomes square root of 2 over square root of 2 times square root of 2. That becomes 2. And this is now sine 45 degrees. Paki-check nga po sa mga calculator nyo, what is sine 45 degrees? Sine 45 degrees is, paki-check po, what is sine 45 degrees?
Square root of 2 over 2.
Tama po ba yung nakuha natin? Tama po ba yung nakuha natin? Okay. So, move on naman tayo sa cosine 45 degrees. Okay. What is cosine 45 degrees? Pwede po ba ito naman yung kuhanin ko? Yes or no? Pwede po ba ito naman? Sige, pwede po ba dito naman po ako sa taas magdedepende? Yes or no?
Yes po.
Yes, because that is also 45 degrees. Basta guys, titingnan mo yung triangle mo. Ay, saan po ba 45? Kung 45, 45, yung mga, ano na yan, yung mga angle na yan, pwede kahit ano dyan. Okay, what is cosine? Ano po yung gagamitin natin kapag cosine ka? That is adjacent over hypotenuse. This is 45 degrees. Pag sinabi po natin adjacent, you are adjacent to me, katabi kita. Adjacent ka sa akin. Ano po yung adjacent sa 45 degrees na side? Is this the adjacent side or this one? Ano po yung adjacent sa 45 degrees? X or x square root of 2? Ano po yung adjacent sa kanya?
X.
X. Hindi po natin pwedeng piliin na ito yung adjacent side since this is our hypotenuse. Huwag po kayong malilito doon. Kasi kapag po may kasama po yung adjacent natin, ang makikita mong nakasandwich sa kanya is the hypotenuse and the adjacent side. Hindi naman po pwedeng gamitin tong side na to since this is the opposite side. Maliwanag? Okay. 45, cosine 45 is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. And what is the hypotenuse? What is the hypotenuse?
X square root of 2.
X square root of 2. Okay. Cancel again x, and it becomes 1 over square root of 2. Rationalize, that is square root of 2 over square root of 2. And it becomes square root of 2 over 2. Okay? So, paki-check nga po sa scientific calculator, what is cosine 45 degrees?
Square root of over 2.
Tama lang po ba yung nakuha natin? Okay. So guys, tuturuan ko kayo ngayon. May tinatawag po tayong complementary angles. Para hindi ka na malito. Okay. Tuturo ko na po agad sa inyo tong complementary angles na hindi pa naman dapat po na i-discuss po sa inyo. So when we say complementary angles, ano po yung complement ni 30 degrees? What is the complement of 30 degrees? Di ba pag sinabi natin complement, you complete each other, parang ganon. So ano po yung complement ni 30 degrees? What is the complement of 30 degrees? Ang dami nyo nang nakalimutan, ha?
6.
60 degrees. Very good. They complement each other so that it is equal to a complementary angle equal to 90 degrees. Maliwanag po ba na yung complement po ni 30 is 60 degrees? Okay. And what is the complement of 45 degrees?
45.
45. What is the complement of 20 degrees?
70.
70. Okay. Let us now try to check. Is 45 here complement of 45 here? Yes or no? Is 45 here the complement of 45 here? Yes or no? Mag-isip ng mabuti. Complement daw po ba yung dalawang 45 na ginamit natin?
Opo.
Yes, they are complementary. Okay. At ano po yung gusto kong pakahulugan doon? Okay. So ganito po kasi kapag meron tayong circular function, when we have cosine 30 degrees, that is also equal to sine 60 degrees. Pakit-compute nga po sa scientific calculator, what is cosine 30 degrees?
Square root of 3 over 2.
Square root of 3 over 2. Paki-compute nga po, what is sine 60 degrees?
Square root of 3 over 2.
Are they the same?
Opo.
Yes po.
Yes, because we call that as, anong tawag sa kanila? They are
Complementary.
complementary. Okay. Nagigets na po ba? Since this is sine 45, pwede lang po natin siyang gamitin kay sine and cosine. Maliwanag po Okay. Since this is sine 45 and this is also cosine 45, do we still need to solve for cosine 45? Meron na tayong sine 45. Kailangan pa po ba nating isolve si cosine 45? Meron na tayong sine 45?
Hindi na po.
Hindi na. Because they are complementary. Are we clear? Okay. So, let's move on with the last circular function for the 45-degree angle. Okay. Tangent 45. Actually, si tangent 45 yung favorite ko sa lahat. Kasi nung college ako, ito yung palaging sinasabi ng teacher ko na, bumili ka sa labas. Bumili ka ng isang candy, tas magbayad ka ng tangent 45. Okay, so check natin. When we say tangent 45, what is tangent? What is tangent? TOA. Ano po yung TOA? Use my phone. Ano po yung TOA? When we say TOA, that is
Opposite over adjacent.
opposite over adjacent. Okay? So that is opposite over adjacent. Tingin tayo dito kay 45 degree. What is the opposite side?
X.
Anyone? What is the opposite side?
X, sir.
X. Over. What is the adjacent side of 45 degrees? What is the adjacent side? What is the adjacent side?
X.
X po.
X. Okay. Therefore, that is now equal to x over x. And what is x over x?
1 po.
1.
1. Could you please try checking your calculator? What is tangent 45?
1 po.
1. Okay. Simula ngayon, wag mo nang kakalimutan si tangent 45. Because when we have tangent 45, that is equal to 1. Okay, wag mo nang kakalimutan yun, ha? Okay, since we have 30, 45, 60, 90, lagay na din natin dito yung mga values niya into radians. What is 30 degrees in radians? This is pi over 2. This is pi over 3. This is pi over 4. This is pi over 6. Yes po. Guys, wait lang may parent lang. Guys, andyan ba si si John Christian Asuncion? Paki-check nga po. Wala, no? Paki-check nga po kung naka-join.
Wala po.
Wala. Okay. So, let's continue. So, mamaya na lang yun. Okay. So, alam na po natin yung mga values niya. Move on naman po tayo dun sa 30, 60, 90. So, pinapakita ko din sa inyo guys yung derivation. Kasi gusto ko alam nyo din kung paano siya kinukuha. Ayoko nang basta pag sinabi mong tangent, pag sinabi nating tangent 45 is 1. So, pinakita ko din sa inyo kung saan siya galing. Para sa susunod, kaya nyo nang mag-derive mag-isa ng sarili nyo using sides of the triangle, using angles of the triangle. Kasi, yun dapat yung ma-develop sa inyo, yung critical thinking. So, okay. So, punta naman po tayo dun sa 30-60-90. Sa 30-60-90. Okay. This is a right, so go muna, kasi meron nga palang dito. Again, this is a right triangle. Medyo lakihan ko ng konti. Okay. This is 60 degrees. This is 90. This is 30. Okay. So, we are now given the special triangle 30, 60, 90. So, in this case, what if I assign here x? What if I assign here x? What are the lengths of this side and the length of the hypotenuse? Okay? So, mag-isip ng mabuti. If this is x, ano po yung length ng side na to at ano yung length ng hypotenuse? Okay, pag-isipan pong mabuti for 1 minute. This is 60, this is 30. If this is x, what will be the length of this one and the length of the hypotenuse? So, kailangan ma-visualize nyo. Paano mo makukuha yung mga sides na to kung isa lang yung given sa'yo, pero given ka ng angle sa loob ng triangle? Paano mo makukuha to? Paano mo makukuha to? Okay. So, tuturuan ko kayong mag-analyze para mas mabilis. Ganito lang po itatandaan natin. If hindi mo siya makuha sa isang triangle, why not draw another triangle which is equal and similar? Pag sinabi po kasi nating equal and similar, they both have the same sides and the same angle. Pag sinabi lang po kasi nating similar triangle, they do not have the same side but they have the same angle. Dito po kailangan same side, same angle yung ilalagay natin. Equal and similar triangle. Maliwanag po? Okay, so yun yung pagkakaiba niya. So dapat kung maglalagay pa tayo ng isang triangle dito sa given natin, they should have the same angle and the same side. Okay, I will just draw an imaginary triangle para alam natin ngayon kung ano yung magiging value nitong side na to at nitong side na to. Okay, so ganun po yung pag-analyze. Tatandaan nyo, in geometry, lagi nyong tatandaan, kapag may problem solving po sa geometry at hindi mo ma-solve yung sides at hindi mo ma-solve yung angle na nandun sa triangle or any shape na meron ka, mag-draw ka pa ulit ng isang shape na kamukha niya, na kamukhang kamukha niya. Okay, but then pwede nating i-mirror. Okay, so since this is my triangle, I will now draw a triangle equal and similar to this triangle. Okay, so I will draw the same triangle pero minirror ko siya pakaliwa. Kung minirror ko siya pakaliwa, if this is x, this should also be x. Tama po ba? Yes or no?
Yes po.
Yes. If this is 60 degrees, I must say that this is also 60 degrees. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Yes or no? Okay. If this is 30 degrees, this must be 30 degrees. Tama po ba? Yes or no?
Opo.
Okay. If this is 30, this is 30, I should say that this angle here is equal to 60 degrees. Tama po ba? That this is also 60 degrees.
Opo. Yes.
Okay. If those angles are equal to 60 degrees, what do we call now to this triangle? We call this, nakalimutan na po nung mga anak ko, ano yung tawag sa triangle na equal yung angle sa loob. We call that equal yung angle sa loob. What do we call to that triangle? We call that?
Lateral po ba?
We call that?
Equilateral
Yes.
po ba?
Equilateral triangle. When we say equilateral triangle, they have equal sides and equal angles. Tama po ba? Okay. This is 60 degrees. Yung 60 degrees natin na to, yung 60 degrees po natin na to, ay nagkaroong side. Ilan po yung side ni 60 degrees? That is 2x. If this is 60 degrees, oh guys, tingin dito. If this is 60 degrees, ano dapat yung side opposite sa kanya? This should also be 2x. Maliwanag. Nag-gets po ba kung bakit naging 2x din yung side na to? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So, kung naging 2x yan, balik na tayo dun sa original triangle natin. Kasi isa na lang po yung natitirang side na hindi natin alam. And in this case, mabilis na nating malalaman ano po yung side na yon. Okay. So, i-draw ko na po ulit yung triangle natin. This is 60 degrees. This is 2x. This is also 2x. But we do not know yet. This is x. Okay. Since original na po yung kinuha natin, bumalik na tayo kay x. This is 2x. This is x. How do we solve now for this side? Paano na po natin makukuha yung side na to? By using
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagorean theorem. Okay, that we have c squared is equal to a squared plus b squared. Say that this is a. Say that this is b. Let's call this c. Okay? And this becomes 2x squared, substitute, is equal to a squared, which is x squared, plus b squared, because we do not know yet the value of b squared. Okay, is the equation correct? Yes or no? Is the equation correct? Yes or no? Sagot.
Yes po.
Yes. Let's now try to simplify. What is 2x squared? That becomes 4x squared. Tama po ba? Is now equal to x squared plus b squared. Okay? Lipat natin. Sa left side, transfer to left side x squared. And that becomes 4x squared minus x squared is equal to b squared. What is 4x squared minus b squared? That is 3x squared is now equal to b squared. Get the square root of both sides. Therefore, anong matitira sa square root of 3x squared? It becomes
X squared of 3.
x square root of 3. And that is now equal to b. Okay, wala na po tayong problema. This is now x square root of 3. Maliwanag po. Okay? So, asog ko lang ng konti dito para dire-diretso na tayo. Okay. So, x square root of 3. So, graph ko na po ulit or draw ko na ulit yung triangle natin. This is 60 degrees. This is 30 degrees. This is 90. This is x. This is 2x. This is x square root of 3. Okay. Balik po tayo ngayon. Mag-start po tayo kay 30 degrees. Okay, sine 30. What is sine 30? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. This is 30 degrees. What is the opposite side of 30 degrees?
X.
X. Over hypotenuse, which is
2x.
2x. What is x over 2x? Cancel x, that is equal to
1/2.
1/2.
1/2. Paki-check po sa calculator nyo, what is sine 30 degrees?
1/2.
1/2.
1/2. Therefore, if this is sine 30 degrees, what is the complement of sine 30 degrees? What is the complement of
Cosine
sine 30 degrees? Cosine 60 degrees. Oh, hindi na natin isa-solve si cosine 60 degrees, ha? Kasi alam na natin that the answer is
1/2 po.
1/2. Punta naman tayo ngayon kay sine 60 degrees. What is sine 60 degrees, guys? Ka. Punta kay 60, ka. Adjacent. What is the adjacent side? What is the adjacent side of 60 degrees?
X.
X. Hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? Wait,
2x.
this is
I mean,
So po yata yun, sir. Opposite over hypotenuse.
so pala to, sorry, this should not be ka. This is sine 60 opposite, that is x square root of 3. Hypotenuse is 2x. Tama po ba? Paki-check nga po ulit. Sine 60 degrees is so. 60 opposite, that is x squared of 3. Hypotenuse is 2x. Cancel x, therefore that is square root of 3 over 2. Paki-check nga po what is sine 60 degrees. What is sine 60?
square root of 3 over 2 po.
Okay, therefore, if that is sine 60, what is the complement of sine 60?
Cosine 30.
Cosine 30 degrees. Okay. And for the last one, we have tangent 60. Dito magkaiba na po ito. Tangent 30 muna. Okay, hindi niya ko. Tangent 30, TOA, 30. Opposite. What is the opposite of tangent of 30 degrees?
X.
X. Adjacent.
X squared of
X squared of 3.
Okay. Cancel x. Therefore, that is 1 over square root of 3. Rationalize. That is square root of 3 over square root of 3. Therefore, it becomes square root of 3 over 3. And that is tangent 30. How about for tangent 60 degrees? Okay. Tangent 60 degrees. Punta kay 60. Tangent is TOA. What is opposite side? What is the opposite side? That is
X.
x square root of 3 over. What is the adjacent side?
X.
X. Cancel. Therefore, what is tangent 60 degrees? Square root of 3. Paki-check nga po sa calculator. What is tangent 60 degrees?
Square root of
Okay na po? Square root of 3. Okay. Maliwanag na po ba yung special angles natin? Okay, ang tatandaan lang naman natin dyan is yung 45, 30, and 60. Okay. Kapag po kasi meron tayong 90, okay, may tuturo po ako sa inyo na tinuturo ko din naman sa mga estudyante ko before. Okay. So, what if mag-fall naman siya sa quadrantal angle natin? Ulitin ko, ano po ba yung mga quadrantal angle? Baka mamaya nakalimutan na. Okay, ano po yung mga quadrantal angle? Ito po yung mga quadrantal angles natin. These are 0, 90, 180, 270, 360, so on and so forth. So, yan po yung mga quadrantal angles natin. Okay, paano po, sir, paano po kunwari, sila naman po yung hinahanapan natin ng values. Okay, for example po, sine 90. Paano po, kunwari, meron tayong cosine 180. Paano po, sir, kunwari, meron tayong sine 180. Paano po, kunwari, meron tayong cosine 90 degrees. Ano na po yung gagawin natin? Okay. Since this is positive x, this is positive 1. Since this is positive y, this is positive 1. Since this is negative x, this is negative 1. Since this is negative y, this is negative 1. Okay? Paki-check nga po. Pasensya na po sa mga hindi Katoliko kasi ganito po yung gagawin natin. You are required to have the sign of the cos. I call this sign of the cos. Bakit? This is sign of the cos. Okay. Kasi may value lang po yung sign kapag magfo-fall yung angle natin dito. Sign of the cos. Maliwanag po? Okay. Pag po dito nag-fall yung sign nag-fall yung sign natin, wala siyang value. Pag po nag-fall yung cosine natin dito, wala siyang value. Ano po yung example nun? Paki-check po. Okay. So, sine of the cos. Sine 90. Paki-check po. What is sine 90? Dito po tayo nag-start. Sine of the cos. Therefore, may value po si sine since this is y-axis. What is sine 90? Paki-check po sa calculator.
1.
1. Ayun po si 1, no? Okay. Maliwanag po. Ito po si 1. Okay. Check nyo nga po. Cosine 90. Okay. May cosine ba dito? Si sine of the cos? May cosine ba siya dito? Yes or no?
Wala.
Wala. What is cosine 90? Ano po yung lumabas sa calculator nyo na cosine 90?
0.
0. Since wala naman pong cosine kay sine of the cos dito. Okay. Check nyo nga po. Cosine 180. Asan po ba yung 180? This is 0. This is 0 sa left side ko. This is 90. This is 180. Sine of the cos. Merong cosine dito. Kaso hindi natin alam kung positive or negative. What is cosine here? What is cosine 180? Cosine 180 is equal to?
Negative 1.
Negative 1. Ano po yung value dito? This is negative 1. Are we clear? Okay. Ito po yung palagi kong tinuturo sa mga estudyante ko kasi na-realize ko lang before. Nung nagsa-sign of the cross ako sa simbahan. Turo ko nga ako sa mga estudyante ko yung sign of the cross. Pero walang ibang nagturo sa akin ito. So na-realize ko lang na it makes sense. So may sense pala yun. So check natin naman. Okay. What is sine 270? Okay. Sine 270. This is 0. This is 90. This is 180. This is 270. Is 270 on the y-axis? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Therefore, this is sine of. So, sine siya. There is a value of sine. And that should be, dahil nasa baba, it should be what?
Negative 1.
Negative 1.
Negative 1. And that is the answer. Kapag po quadrantal angles, always remember that if the given is quadrantal angles, you will just choose between negative 1 and negative 1, positive 1, and 0. Pero it is not yet applicable for tangent. Since sa tangent, ang lalabas po dyan is infinity or math error. Try nyo nga po, what is tangent 90? Minsan 0 lalabas. Undefined, okay? Bakit undefined? Kasi it is infinite. So, hindi niya ma-define kung ano dun sa numbers na yon, yung tangent. Maliwanag po ba? Okay. So, sa tangent po, and cotangent, it is not yet applicable. Maliwanag po ba yung discussion natin ngayon? Medyo napahaba yung ano natin, yung derivation ng mga formula natin when using the these values. Okay, so tingnan ko po kung ano yung susunod. Pero feeling ko wala na po tayong time. Okay, so mag-brief discussion na lang po ako Pero wala na pong time.